Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Beauty on a Budget. My name is Heather and today is Monday, September 22nd of 2025. So I was just out today with my daughter for a little while between her class and stuff and work. So we had to go to a few stores and get some stuff done. So I'm going to start with, I always do Dollar Tree just because I'm just going to work from left to right, or right to left if I know my directions. Okay, so I've got everything laid out here. So this is Dollar Tree. Where I am, everything seems to be $1.75 or $2 an item. Very few items are still $1 or $1.25 or even $1.50. So it's, it's tricky. Do I really want to go there? But at the same time, $2 is a lot cheaper than $5 at Dollarama. So I still kind of started to shop at Dollar Tree again. I got two. I'm just going to hold one up because they are so annoying. These are the magnifying sheets. Like I said, they're just really annoying to hold up. They're just going to make everything look funny. So I got two of them at $1.75 each. I also got a pack of two of the portfolios. Open this to show you what they look like. I had to open it because I wasn't sure if it was plastic or cardboard. Hard to tell when they're wrapped in the plastic. So I've got a pink one and a purple one. So they're just, oops, I guess I'll sit down like this. So I bought this pack of two. Then I can put the magnifying sheets inside there. I got one for me and one for a friend at the church. I'll give it to her Wednesday night. We're taking that class together. And she finds that she needs, like a large print Bible. And I told her what I found. Like, my Bible is a pretty, it's a large print. But if I take my glasses off, I cannot read it at all. So I'm looking for a larger print Bible. But I did tell her that those magnifying sheets, when you just lay them down on the sheet, it really does help magnify the words a little bit better. So I bought myself one because I have not seen mine since before we moved. And I thought, I'm there, I might as well buy her one too. So I'll give her one on. And same with the two portfolios. So it's like something I need, and if she wants it, she can have one. And then they had some really cute little plaques. I saw the one I really wanted, but it was damaged, and I really was tempted to buy it, even though it was a little damaged. And like, they do get damaged when you put them away if you don't wrap them properly. If they fall off the shelf or fall off the wall, they get a little dinged. But and then I saw this one. So I put the other one back and I got this one. So this was $1.75. And it says Fresh Harvest Apple Cider. And it actually has the recipes. And I love these. I've got a whole bunch for Christmas, which I believe we're still hanging up past Christmas. And then I just thought this was just such a nice one. I love the detail on here. It does have the glitter, which is a bonus. And the little picture actually does, stick out. It's hard to see, but it is like a 3D thing, and it's got the recipes. And I got a couple of them hanging up from last fall still in my kitchen. Like I said, I had the Christmas cookie one still hanging up until just very recently, actually. So this will get hung up by my fridge, and I don't know if I'll make this recipe. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, it's asking you to start with fresh apple cider. So you're making apple cider starting with apple cider. Okay. I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I just thought it was just, a nice recipe. I always find them really useful. I always double check that they are actual recipes that you can make. So those few items, my receipt is here. Oops, wrong receipt. I do have my receipts in order. That was just out of my wallet, so it just kind of got put on top. So the four items at $1.75 each came up to $7 and then 35 cents GST. So it was $7.35. And then it was at $2 Dollaramas today, looking for things. So I'll do this first one. I really liked this cream. So this is the collagen anti-wrinkle. This is the day cream. I bought the night cream and I really liked it. So then I haven't seen the day cream. Then I did find it going to a different, Dollarama. So it was $4 for this day cream. It's actually a pretty good size. It's 1.69 fluid ounces or 50 mils. So I mean, it's a really good size container of face cream for $4. I mean, I would probably see this similar product like this, like I was at Sephora, it was like $100 almost, like, you know, taking 80 something, 90 something dollars for probably about the same size little bottle. So I'm just going to set it over here because it is a glass jar. And then fall is kind of coming up. We're kind of in fall now, going into winter. And my lips always dry out. And I do have the ones I bought last year, but I like to get, you know, coming up to the new season kind of thing, replenishing these Blistex. So this one here is the medicated lip ointment. This one is actually for cold sores. I haven't had any for a few years, but I do get them sometimes in the winter. Like my lips will chap, and then I just, you know, just happens. And it's usually right here on my right side. So I thought, you know, they have them in. When I need them, it's hard to find, but I'll keep it in the package like this until I need it. And so I'll just put it in the medicine cabinet. And then same with this. This is the Blistex. This is the Lip Medex. And this is, yeah, it's medicated, temporarily relieves discomfort of sore lips and restores moisture balance. Again, I find my lips really dry out fast in the winter. And so I find these actually work the best. Now these ones have expiry date of, you know, 27. And this one, the expiry date, because I always double check before I get them. And they always print them on the box, and it's always in such a weird place, in a different spot. Yeah, this one says it's good till like 28. So I've got a couple years, so I will, before I open these ones, when I need them, I will see if I have ones from last year, because it's just something I do to always make sure I have these. I will say with these type of ones here, for specifically where it's like you're applying it directly onto it, once the cold sores are gone, I throw the tube out. I don't like to, you know, get this contaminated and, you know, you just get the cold sore, I don't know, whatever the cold sores are caused by, to have that, you know, tube and then just keep applying and applying, because then you'll never get rid of it. I also never put this tube like this directly on the cold sore. I will actually put a little bit either on my finger or a Q-tip and then apply. That way the tip of this is always clean. Same with these ones. I try not to dip my finger in the bottle. Sometimes I do, but you know, it's one of those things, especially if it's like these medicated ones, I try to keep them a lot cleaner. Okay, and then, let's see, I just bumped my computer. It just flashed at me. Okay, so next trip to the other Dollarama. I had already bought one of these one time. I kind of showed it the other day. This was the one I doesn't have the price on, and I kind of couldn't find my receipt. But I used it, and it was amazing how fast this it's called Instant Facial Exfoliating, and I was amazed at how fast it worked. And then I had my daughter try it, and she loved it. She's like, neither of us have had any exfoliating that works as good or as fast as this one did. So I was at the other Dollarama, and so they didn't have many left, so I bought two, one for me and one for my daughter. And they were $5 each. Like I said, when I made that video, I said they're between $4 and $5. I wasn't quite sure, so they are $5. I also got a thing of Betty Crocker, the whipped chocolate icing. I just buy these every once in a while just because I like to have the tubs of icing on hand. And the icing is $2.25. Oh, my nose is just so itchy. And then I saw these. I don't need these. I gotta tell myself, I'm not a kid. I don't need hair accessories. But just cute little ears, little cat ears like that. Put my hair up in a ponytail and have this in my hair. So this little hair elastic was $1.50. At first I thought it was a barrette, but there was an open one, and I'm like, no, it's a hair elastic. So that's going to be kind of cute in my hair. And then when I'm at the dollar store, I always check for stockings. I wear these like every Sunday to church. If I'm wearing a dress or a skirt, I like to have something. So this one here is XOXO. It's called Polka Dot Footed Tights. And this is the size A. It says it's and it's nude. So it's got that polka dot pattern to it. And then I got this one, and it's the Secret All Nude Invisible Sheer. So these are, I love these really sheer ones. You can barely notice you're wearing the stockings. Yeah, this is a deep nude, and it was the letter 10, so it's the bare look. And yeah, again, size A, and they are not priced. Is that a price? Oh, the suggested retail price of this one is $15. Does this have a retail price? Sometimes they do. No, I don't see a retail price on that one. But I always try to find that. I didn't even notice that till just now. So $15 for one pair of sheer stockings that you might get like maybe 3 uses out of. I usually find they don't last very long. So those were $4 each. So my total was $21.75, 98 cents for GST. Made my total $22.73, and then rounding for pennies made it $22.75 for those items. And then my last, did I even do that? No, I guess I didn't really do that one. Okay, oh, how much these were. Sorry, I was so busy explaining to these, I forgot to say the price of these. So these Blistex, this Blistex one here was $3.75, and this Blistex, this one here was $3.50. And then I said the day cream was $4, so my total was $11.25, and then 56 cents for GST, so $11.81, and then, like I said, rounding for pennies, so it was $11.80. Then my last trip was to Value Village. I actually went because I'm looking for, like I said, a larger print Bible. Mine is okay, but I find sometimes my lighting is not very good, and I would just like a little bit larger print. I don't need like an extra large print, but just something just a little bit bigger. So that's what I was actually looking for. And so I found this Bible. So it's okay. Excuse me. Okay. So this one here. So it's the Good News Bible, and it was $3.99. And it is, I'll have to compare to the one, but it is just, I don't know if it's a larger print or if it's just spaced out, but I could read that so much easier just standing, you know, in Value Village. I just opened it up and just went through, you know, just a couple pages. I have the version that I'm using, which is the NLT at the moment, just because I prefer like the King James or the NIV versions, but mine are just too tiny of a print that I had to go to a larger print, and NLT was the only one I could find when I needed that. So I compared this passage in here to the NLT, and it's pretty close to the same. So that's one thing, is I like to know if the Bible I'm reading is really close to what I'm used to reading. So again, you can't really beat a Bible for $4. And then I found this one, and so this is going to be fun to open up in a minute. So this is the Rainbow Bible, and it's the Authorized King James Version, and it's still in the box. So this was $4.99. So this is one, I don't know the condition of the Bible. It's in this box, but it says that whenever this was made, I'll have to find a receipt or the year it was printed. But this was bought from, it said Valentine Rexall Drugs for $3. So open it up and let's see the condition of the Bible. That looks like a brand new Bible. So there's nothing printed, nobody's name, nothing like that. It wasn't presented to anybody. And I find some of these Bibles, they don't have the year that it was published, which I find kind of sad sometimes. Some of these older books, when they don't put the years or they're not in an obvious place. Okay. It's also not a red letter. That's okay. I said that's okay. It's just gonna sit here in its box. And I actually have my rainbow Bible that my mom gave me like so long ago. In fact, I still use it, or I have been using it. I'm not sure where it is. I haven't seen it since we moved, but one day I'll have to, when I find it, I will pull it out and I will compare it to this one. I also have a mini New Testament that's a rainbow Bible, and I have the rainbow Bible from 1952 or 54. I forget what the inscription on the inside was, and I got that for like nothing, and I gave it to my daughter. It was in such good condition that actually I gave it to her 2 years ago when she was baptized. So I didn't write any inscription in it because I'd taken that page out because it had somebody else's stuff all in it. So, and then she got mad at me that I took that out. And I'm like, but it was somebody else's, you know, personal information there. So I took it out, but I should still have it with some of my other papers. So I got that Bible. And then I found these socks. These are the ladies' knee-high compression socks made by Copper. I love these socks. I do have a pair of them. I've wore a couple times since I got them. I paid, I know there was discounted things. You buy so many, you'll get, you know, another one free. But they were between $20 and $25 a pair. So $3.49, I had to get them. So I'm going to keep them in the box until I actually need to use them. And then I found some 8-tracks. I told my husband I do have 8-tracks. Told him I can't find any. So when I saw they had about, you know, 10 or so 8-tracks sitting at Valley Village tonight, I had to go through. Then I could tell my husband I found some 8-tracks because I don't have an 8-track player. I think he might have one. So these were $1.99 each. So I got ABBA Waterloo. I got ABBA Greatest Hits. Another ABBA Voulez-vous. I'm not very good at speaking French. Things something like that. And then I found an Elvis Presley, the Blue Hawaii. $2 each. How can I say no to that? Just gonna set them aside and tell my husband I definitely need an 8-track player now. And then I found these. So these last 2 items were actually not for me. They're actually for my daughter. I'm gonna say I'm not a big, you know, K-pop fan. I don't know the bands in Korean. My daughter plays them, so I kind of hear them, you know. I actually kind of like the J-pop, so it's the Japanese pop. There's a couple artists that I like that way. So she's really into the K-pop or the Korean pop, specifically the boy bands. So I found 2 albums, so they were $6.99 each. And I'm going to say the one thing I don't like about J-pop or K-pop is they make their albums, but they will slightly change. This is the same album, but you can see one's in blue and one's in pink. So these are like nearly like $80 each or something, like $50 to $80 per album. And they will put out multiples of the same album with different cover colors. And it's the extra bonus stuff you get inside. So you get like postcards, other, you know, just photos of the band. I'm not sure if the booklets are the same, if they've got the same photos in the booklets that have the lyrics in them. That I'm not sure. But this band here, and I'm trying to find if I can, here is the name of the group. It's on here somewhere. Okay, so it says it's 17th or 10th mini album FML. I don't even know what that means. I kind of had to look it up. And so this one's in the pink, and this one is the exact same except it is in blue. And like I said, these bands who will put out multiple albums, you're going to sell more albums if you put out 4 or 5 of the same album in different colors, different covers, things like that. So, oh, okay. Yeah, it says it's a 17 10th mini album, and the album is called, I just saw it on the back of one of these. Oh, so F. It says FML, and it says, oh, Fight for My Life. So I text these. I try to take as good of pictures of these as I could through the thing, and I didn't even get a chance to tell her what the name of the album was. I kind of just sent her, you know, like different photos of different sides of the thing, and she gets back to me, you know, yes, please, Mom, buy, I'll pay for them, in large font. So, you know, like, so I had to buy them. So they were $7 each, which she will pay me back when she gets home tonight from work, or I'm keeping them until she pays me, kind of a thing. So where's my receipt here? Just make sure I got 2 Bibles, the socks, those and those. Okay, so my total was $34.41, $1.72 for GST. Rounding for pennies, my total was $36.15. And that is everything I got today. Again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who subscribes to my channels and watches my videos, and I will see you in the next ones. Bye.